Over the past couple of years, I think it just goes up and down, to be honest. I don't think it's stopping me from investing, but it makes me look at my future a very different light than I did before.
Seeing that what my investment portfolio has done since about 2000 really hasn't moved, makes me think that I should be looking at other things such as gold to invest in.
I still invest, but you're not comfortable with where the market's headed.
I have a lot of confidence because it's the only game in town, and I know the returns aren't great. Everything's predicated on a 6% return when you look at your retirement scenarios, but there's no 6% return anymore. But I keep buying in the market because if it's low, I'm buying low, and I believe it will eventually recover.
Well, I've changed my whole portfolio to try and ensure that I will have my money, when it's time to retire. So it's a lot less risk that I take.
It's changed just because I'm getting older and I'm looking at how I'm going to allocate.
I'm just sitting tight right now and just hoping with the next year to 2 years that it will level off again and start growing again. I was more risk before and have slowly gotten to a point as I'm getting older to just make it as least risky as possible.
Even being more conservative, you're just not getting the returns that you would want. Your returns on your investments as a whole are, averaging under 5% when they used to average between 5 and 7%, so you're getting a lot less bang for investing your money. So, it's trying to find something. The biggest thing that I've found in my life has been my home, that I've been able to, even with the crash of the housing market, I was able to exit that successfully without losing money on my property.
I do have a 401k, I have a 529 for my kids, which I no longer put money in because it's going down. So it has affected me, and I'm not very confident in the market right now.
I think right now the biggest worry is not just the American job situation, it's also what's going on in Europe and the debt crisis. I think so there really is a lack of real confidence in capital markets.
Different countries who could default, like Greece, you could have, an impact on businesses here.
I think because a lot of people lost half of their retirement a couple years ago, I think that really hit home, and I think that's why people have lost a lot of confidence.
My retirement. I have probably about 3 years to go, and I'm trying to keep very conservative, but sometimes that's not even enough. We're still losing money.
I worry more about my kids and them keeping their jobs, when I'm getting close to the end of my career. But, any given day, my kids could lose their job now.
I think only because of the flow of history, it's bound to get better. It has to get better at some point. I don't know when. It might take a couple years, but I think eventually it will get better.
I think in general you just have to be careful. Always check numbers. Obviously, as any investor can probably tell you, you always have to stay on top of what's going on.
I think, this has always been true, but I think, do your due diligence. Don't listen to somebody who says they've got a hot stock tip. Do the research, because there are good firms out there to invest in, but I think you have to be wise in how you do it, and I think you need to be diversified, because if you're all in one sector or anything else, you can get burned very easily.
Stocks have been falling the last couple of weeks, so to invest now would be good if you believe in the long run. Upgrade again, and I think the United States is still the strongest economy in the world.